Alinikata na wembe akanichoma.
Brian is a scarred 7-year-old boy, not only physically but also emotionally and psychologically. A shy loner, comfortable with himself for company, but also surprisingly brave enough to share his story with us despite the fact that we were total strangers. Over 6 months ago, the police found Brian alone at his mother's workplace in Huruma after he says his father allegedly chased him away from their home.
Alinichapa ngumi nikatoka damu, akasema niende kwa mama yangu.
His mother then left him at a place of work and apparently went back to their house to talk to the father, but never to return. It is how he ended up here. The marks on his hands, Brian painfully reveals, were inflicted by his mother. He was unable to disclose any more than that, other than a brief nod to confirm that he did nothing wrong to deserve such treatment. Brian was among a group of 4 to 5 children who on January 18th were paraded at the Msalame Children's Court in the hope that their parents would identify and claim them. There were just but a few of the many children who have made the Nairobi Children's Rescue Center their temporary home. We visited the center located at Lower Kabete in pursuit of a story about life, despair, hope and renewal. The center holds over 70 children, some abandoned and others simply lost and found. Since its inception in 1989, it has brought hope and relief for the many children who have nowhere else to go.
1990 is when the home began. Once they are here, we place them under our programs. We have education, health, we have the shelter, we also provide clothing and food. And they undergo the spiritual counseling.
Children are rescued on a daily basis, but the center only receives them on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, when the Msalame Children's Court operates. They also receive children directly from police stations and hospitals, and most of the children here are found at bus stations, left alone by their parents until a good Samaritan notices and takes them to the nearest police station. Usually by the time they get to the center, these children are in a state of trauma. What state are the children in when they come?
They are normally confused, they are so traumatized. So the first day, once we receive them, we don't interview them much. What we do, we just welcome them. Then we orient them by showing them where they will sleep, the washroom, and we introduce them to their caregiver. After some time is now when we'll interview them.
The center has a feel of a boarding school that doubles up as a home. Just like school, they learn, play, have chores and interact with each other like siblings do in a normal home. However, this semblance of a home is short-lived because after 6 months at the center, the children need to move to a more permanent home. That's the ideal situation, but in practice, some of the children have been here for over a year and are still hoping and waiting to see their mothers and fathers again. Despite the desperate longing for a home, the children mingle and play as brothers and sisters would. The gravity of their present circumstances forgotten for a little while. A tour around the compound gives us a view into their everyday life. Babies as young as these, innocent and oblivious of their situation, seem rather content. Others, however, are fearful and unable to trust anyone. At least until a familiar face gets close by to calm her down. We then speak to Irene, the firstborn of 3 girls, and a mother and elder sister to 2 siblings, all wrapped in one 10-year-old girl. Together, the 3 sisters call this safe haven home, for now at least. Her memory is very clear. She's able to recount all their details, family names, and what happened on the day they were abandoned.
Irene. Irene.
Nyumbani ni wapi?
Njiru.
Njiru. Unajua mama na daddy? Wanaitwa nani?
Mam. Anaitwa Mweni.
Mweni nani?
Ellen Mweni.
Na dadi?
Mtoa.
Mtoa. Nini ilifanyika na ukakuja huko?
Tuletwa na tulikuwa tumeenda kwa aunti yangu. Mama mwingine akatuambia tuingie kwa gari. Akatupeleka polisi. Ndio tukaenda kotini ndio tukakuja huku.
The shy 10-year-old has managed her burdensome responsibility rather well, and the challenges notwithstanding, but she just wants to be a little girl with one request for her parents.
Atukuje turudi shule.
These are just but a few illustrations of the traumatic experiences these children have had to endure because their primary caregivers have abdicated their roles, leaving them to a life of uncertainty and mistrust. Tomorrow on part 2, we go back to the center and embark on a home tracing mission for Irene and her sisters. Keep it here.